Hello students, Mr. Lawrence here with your update for November 12th, 2020. Today's word of the day is plethora. It's a noun and it means an abundance or excess. So I like jackets and I have a few hanging on my chair here. I could say, my wife probably would say that I have a plethora of jackets. I just have too many. Plethora, very cool word. With the words of the day, I have a plethora of words I could give you. I just have too many. I have way more than I need. A plethora, a very cool word you could use right away. Today in class, we're going to be reading from Z for Zechariah. We've not been able to do that for 2 days. And then I'm going to be talking about citing sources related to the dodgeball paper. Citing sources is very simple. I'll be teaching the basics, which has to do with the author's name, then the title. You put the title of the article or the website in quotes, and then you put the date that it was or the year that it was published, and then the source. So if it's like Time Magazine, time.com, you'd put the source. If it's an electronic source, you put the URL, you paste it in. And then after that, you put the date accessed. So if you were looking at an article today, you would put 12 November. You just do the abbreviated NOV, and then 2020. The date that it's published is important because you need to know when that was from, and then also the date that you accessed it, because the internet's always changing. Sometimes you're able to find articles or things that are print sources. Not many students are going to do that, though. I think most people are going to use internet sources. So those are the basic things for the works cited. The works cited page gets organized. There's a thing that we call hanging indent, and I'll teach that in a couple days. And then there's finally the fact that it's alphabetized by the last name of the author. So if you found a bunch of articles by authors, you just alphabetize those by the last name or by the source. So for example, I gave you that administrative directive from Nebo School District. It wasn't written by anybody in particular. The author is Nebo School District. And so you would put that alphabetically, right where the ends are. So that's something that we do need to make sure is done correctly on your works cited page. And again, we'll talk about that more later. In the in-text citation, all you do is put the last name of who the article was by or the source. So for example, the Nebo District Administrative Directive, you would just say Nebo, and that would be enough. You put that in parentheses. And that lets the reader know, hey, I'm using some information from a source. And you can go at the end and look at the works cited to see what that source was. And yeah, people can follow up and see if they wanted to read more about what you wrote. So the works cited is not terribly complicated. Some kids really stress out, and I'm just going to teach everybody the easiest way to do it. But today we're going to have some time after the little mini lesson and let people work on their research. I really need to help pace people because I'm afraid that they will just kind of mess around and not really use their time wisely. This paper, you need 4 sources at least, and I think you should probably have those 4 sources in the next day or so. And then you can start to figure out what you want to use from each source. So we're going to talk about that in baby steps, but today we're doing citing sources and then giving people time to work in class. Sorry, today's video was a little longer, but this paper is kind of a big deal. And so I wanted to make sure that you knew what's going on for those working at home. If you have questions, you're welcome to email me. This paper is scheduled to be due November 17th. I might be changing that date, but for now we're planning on the 17th. So get cracking on that. Have a great day. Be safe.